Yeah, I've had quite a lot of new arrivals. Unfortunately, a few of them are now up in the attic because it's been so long. But I do still have a few here to share with you. So this is a shirt that I have had my eye on for years and years and years, and I was just waiting for it to come up at a decent price. I know that prices have gone up a lot recently, but this one's always been quite expensive, and it is the Chile Reebok shirt.
Yeah, great.
Now it's slightly damaged on the Reebok logo. There's a bit, it's like the bit's peeling off a bit, but to me that just confirms that it's a legit shirt. Really, I got this for 40 quid, which I was over the moon about. It was on eBay. A lot of stuff's ended up in like Bulgaria and the Ukraine and stuff, and it's over there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to send to the UK for a while, so I had to the guy sort of saved it and said, "Look, when the post office lets me send again, I'll put it back up." And he told me about it, and there we go.
It's brilliant.
The classic Chile shirt as well.
It is. It's amazing. So I'm over the moon to get that for a decent price. I'm glad I sort of held out for it. I know
which year is that?
I can't remember. It's 98-ish.
Yeah, that my feeling is that it's probably 98.
They had a few sort of similar ones, and the badge changes depending on which version you get. I've got the circular badge. One thing that does make me laugh about it, and they had it at the time, is this little bit here, where it seems to suggest there's space to put your name. Nombra, does that stand for? Is that name Spanish for name? I'm not going to do that.
No. You should. Right, with
but I think it is indeed the 98 shirt where Ivan Zamorano basically scored a shitload of goals.
But they had to change it, didn't they? They had to take out one of these parts of the Reebok logo because it was too big. Because it is too big.
Does it break branding rules?
Yeah, probably.
So they had to change it. I think Russia had the same. Zambia didn't have those problems, or the Gambia when they wore it, but Chile did.
Guess FIFA weren't watching very, very closely.
Exactly. Right. Okay. A few more. Now this one's just arrived, and people who follow my collection know that I have a thing for the lesser known. I want to say Canadian, American. I don't know. Brand, North American brand Score. I think they're American. Score Sports.
Yeah.
And this is, as you can see, Honduras. And what's really cool about this is it's got the official printing, but they've got this embroidered Honduras on the back, and the reason that is embroidered on the back is because if I turn this inside out, they had a player name underneath it.
Brilliant.
Rochez, I think. I've tried to search for Rochez, and I think that he spells his name with various different ways. I'm sure it's got a Z when I've looked this up before. But this is from
maybe that's why they covered it up. Maybe he was super annoyed that they'd spelt his name wrong.
But I think that's from 1992. They certainly wore that design when they played World Cup qualifiers in Canada.
Excellent.
Right. I've got another one. So I bought this off a seller that I've known for a while through social media. And he just took absolutely ages to send this to me.
Who was that? Who was that guy?
Something about like having to elope to Greece or something. I'm not really sure, but it's good. It's got a nice. It's got a proper badge on it. I know that some of them have got like printed.
That's it. It seems that the quality of these Umbro African shirts has really taken a dip. They've moved to a new factory or something like that, and there's also differences between the player ones and the replica ones. So I think the player ones have the decent badges in this case. So that's a player one. That's a match worn one, I think. I did actually find out which match they were from, but I can't remember. It'll check my blog because the details. It'll be the same as for my one.
Right, I have two more. This one's fairly plain. Austria Shirt.
Oh yeah.
Called it on eBay. Pretty cheap. It's actually more exciting on the inside of the shirt than on the out with that fancy bit there.
That's a damning indictment of a shirt, if that's to be said about it.
I was going to read it, and then I realised that my GCSE German knowledge, Sascha, you might be able to fill us in.
Yeah, it's saying Austria always again.
That's pretty much bang on what I was going to say. So, right, and the final. This is a shirt that I saw ages ago up in the National Football Museum, when they had their. In fact, you exhibited at it, didn't you, Joe? When they had their,
I think they've still
Hall
got
of Shame.
they've still got my shirt. The Australia one, my Australia shirt's in there, and it's not in the Hall of Shame. It's just in this kind of crazy designs bit at the end.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, it's badly named because it's literally the best shirts are all put there.
Yeah, the Hall of Shame.
This one
is
a Rebro England shirt. Now, Rebro, for anyone who supports English football teams, will know it because they did fantastic shirts for a very short amount of time, about 90 to 92-ish. We're producing lots of league clubs, and they're famous for having just like really nice classic designs. Now, this one, I think that teams like Carlisle and Exeter use this sort of design, but sort of all over the shirt. This is the England ladies team shirt from like 92, 93-ish.
You'd never guess 92 or 93. Who would have thought with that pattern down the sides that it could possibly be from approximately 1992 or 93, a time when every television program had credits on that looked like that.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, it looks like an episode of Challenge Annika or something like that.
They wore it in 1993 Euros qualifiers.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Excellent.
I know that for certain because that design was used against Iceland.
Against Iceland.
In the only picture I can find of a otherwise unique Iceland shirt for the women.
This one is from before the women's FA or whatever merged with the English one, because I can't remember the backstory about it. But it was definitely separate from the men's game. In fact, women's football was banned for a while, wasn't it, over here for some bizarre
reason? 1971.
Too popular or something. So I got this. This came in an auction, but it was really badly listed because in the eBay listing, they did not mention the word football, shirt or jersey. So I just went into the national football shirt section and put top minus shirt minus jersey to see what was there, and this was on it. So I got that for like 40 quid.
Amazing.
It came in the original bag as well, which there we go. I've got the original Rebro bag, so it's literally brand new condition. So
that's brilliant.
I am delighted to have that. I know that New Zealand had the same blue design for their away shirt. I've got the home shirt. I haven't got the away shirt. So if I could ever find that, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, controversial for me to say, but that's the greatest England shirt. Probably in all history.
I'd agree. I think it's fantastic.
I can't really have an opinion on it, to be honest. They all just make me sick. All right. So, Sascha, what have you got? Anything new?
I have quite a lot as well. So first of all, I got this Enere, or however you say that, Uruguay shirt.
Yeah, it's a classic. The sleeves are brilliant.
Yeah, the one sleeve is brilliant. The other is just plain.
That makes it better somehow.
It does, yeah. And I got it from Subito, which is like an Italian small ads page for €50, including shipping, which I think is more than fair for.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd pay like 200 quid for that on classic football shirts.
Exactly. And I think I don't have a single South American shirt I like. I find them all dull. So this is the first one I really like.
Oh, congratulations.
And I was very pleased with that. And then I got two very special shirts.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is match worn by Jürgen Kohler, German national team player.
Fantastic.
And it's from a match of Europe against Africa. So that was a charity match between African stars and European football players
you got this for a
to raise funds for Africa. Sorry?
Did you get this for a bargain amount as well?
I think €100 each, because I also obviously have one from Taribo West of the African team.
Legend.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so that's just the opposite. And they are both match worn as well.
It's fantastic.
Never saw.
You're not finding them in any other collection, really, are you?
Absolutely not.
And then somebody contacted me around Christmas saying he has 3 shirts left and don't need them anymore if I want to have them. Actually, 2 of them were club shirts, but the other one, obviously I wanted to have that because it's a Belarus shirt.
Of course.
And as I only have about 20 Belarus shirts, I definitely had to get that. It's actually one I didn't have yet, and it's the 5th different FA badge I think I have by now. So very pleased with that, especially as a gift.
Yeah.
And then I bought a big bunch of kits from a collector from Austria who stops collecting and is selling his collection off.
DR Congo, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got this Congo shirt from Ernest.
Yeah.
With the old logo as well. I can't remember what all the shirts cost. I paid 300 in total for all of them. This quite old Greek shirt.
Yeah, classic.
From Diodora.
They didn't use this one for very long either. So I've got the home version of that.
Yeah,
and
but
really,
Greek
really difficult to find match photos for.
I think it's a very decent Greek shirt because of the massive logo on it. I really like it.
Yeah.
Then what else did it have? Well, a North Korean shirt.
Excellent.
So I know of both, the one from the World Cup in South Africa and the one from the qualifiers, I think. Then an Angola shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing spectacular here, but it comes with Flavio and his print. I'm not sure if it's match worn or prepared. Then finally, a holy grail I was looking for ages.
Ah, congratulations. Sorry, I've always meant to sort you out with one of these and have never quite managed to get around to it, but great. That's excellent news.
So that's the real deal. I do have a fake already, but this is now
so
the
much
real
better.
deal.
Yeah. Awesome.
Then because I have some love for obscure brands, so obviously a Shikari Iran shirt. It's actually my second Shikari Iran shirt, obviously. The other one being match worn. And that's largely because there is an embargo on Iran, so Adidas can't sell them anything. So these are all local Iranian brands. They first had Shikari, and then they had Ali Day, who's also the best footballer they ever had.
Yeah, yeah.
So they had a Day brand.
Yeah, he was
brand.
like the world's top scorer at international level, I think, for quite a long
Still
time.
Is
he still?
A few goals ahead of Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's got 7 to score.
He'll get there.
And then one, of course, for Adam. That was also inside that collection, a Royce
Beauty
Iceland shirt.
Long sleeve.
It's actually my first not match worn Iceland shirt because it didn't come for free from the FA.
Mine's match worn.
It looks like it's from a superhero. The size is, I mean, I can put 3 people in it easily.
Amazing. That's
they're all huge. I've never seen one that isn't like the size of the country itself.
And then last but not least, I think that was only listed for 20 euros. So in his lot is this Saudi Arabia shirt.
Wow.
And we all know most Saudi Arabia shirts are quite boring, but this one from the brand Shamel.
Yeah. And it's really quite sought after, that one, I think. I think I've seen a few people looking for that one, I think.
Yeah, so that's from the World Cup in France, 98.
For 20 euros.
It has cool sleeves.
Awesome.
And another great, I mean, I'm trying to collect as many brands as possible by now. So I'm very pleased to add Shamel.
Yeah.
And I'm quite staring at your champion Wales shirt for an hour now because I don't have a champion shirt.
Oh, you get a champion Wales shirt, like, easy. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's loads of them about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gave me ideas with your background because I'm staring at that and I really want to have it.
I see. Well, that's not a bad little haul at all. Yeah. So, Adam, what have you been getting recently?
So I've been fairly busy recently. Well, some of my busyness actually started in September last year, and yes, they've only just arrived.
Yeah.
But before we get there, let's start off with what I pillaged from what Sascha left behind from said Austrian collector.
Oh, yeah.
So we have one of the greatest Austria shirts of all time. If King Root didn't exist, I'd say it might be up there as the greatest.
I've got one of these.
And a little bit like the Norway shirt from the main episode is a little bit more subtle, obviously, but the FA logo, Soccer Australia, is printed throughout the fabric across
in the weave,
shirt.
Yep.
I don't know how clearly that comes through.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, just in case you weren't sure from the green and yellow that it was an Australia shirt, it's got the word Australia written all over it. The only other thing I picked up from them was another of those ANS designs. Was Guinea.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
nice.
on the back, but I do like that template. There's
not very many of those era of ANS shirts around, really. They're quite hard to get hold of.
Yeah, they're a strange brand, ANS. They make some quite good shirts, but they're not good at selling
They're
them.
actually very good at selling them.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
So this is the latest Vanuatu shirt from KPI Sports in Australia. It's a bit odd in that you've got this dark yellow colour and then it just changes colour. That's not a difference in material or anything like that. That's just what they've decided to do. But they do have this lovely sleeve pattern.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, then I've got a little batch of match worn or prepared ones. So as I say, I have been busy. So this Faroe Islands shirt.
It's magnificent.
Came to me from CFS. It's also huge. I don't know don't know who wore it for the Faroes, but I think they use it as a team hotel as well. But that's then from the Nordic Football Championship, 2000 to 2001.
Right.
They're going against Denmark.
Absolutely great shirt.
Then we've got a worn or prepared Bulgaria. I've got the replica version of this, but I was offered this from a contact who offered me at a very decent price. So I snapped that right up. I do like the numbers on these because you've got the sort of silvery outline on the back.
Yeah, it's good. I've got a replica one of those as well.
I think I have the away one of that, also match worn. The numbers are great.
Brazil, 2006.
Oh, yeah.
This is definitely player spec. The seller did not know the story, so he sold it to me at a decent price. He's Brazilian and would definitely know what sort of price to put it at if you knew anything about it.
Right.
But it's definitely the player spec because the badge isn't stitched.
Yeah.
And everything else matches up right. But beyond that, I don't know a thing about it. In a friendly against England, a number 15 did play, which would have been in this design. But beyond that, it's quite hard to find out about numbers back then. It could have been anyone.
Oh, cool.
Singapore.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, great.
So this is from the certainly claimed as from the 2000 Tiger Cup.
Excellent.
Or AFF Championship. It's the game against Vietnam by a Centurion cap holder, no less, in Nazaré. In terms of how well they did at the Tiger Cup, this wasn't their finest hour, bowing out in the group stage. They definitely did better in the other tournaments, and I know you've got a very nice Tiger Cup to design yourself, Joe.
Yeah, the red one.
A tournament where they actually did something.
Yeah. Yeah, they had great shirts back then. It's a shame that they then had to put up with about 15 years of total rubbish.
Moving away from matchworns, last at late finally arrived after a lot of back and forth and slightly confused emails. Is we have a load of shirts from Impact Pro Wear. So we have the Turks and Caicos home shirt.
Oh, cool.
Not too much to it, but you've got this lovely pattern down the side.
Yep.
And indeed, very little more to it. It matches on the back, but that's their away one, which is a little bit nicer. We've got great pattern. Again, front and back. We've got
this was nominated for one of the shirts of the year in 2019, I believe.
So, you do have more?
Yeah, I've got very last few from Impact. Very much keeping with the Arctic Circle theme so far, with the likes of Australia and the Turks and Caicos. That's completely blasted out the water with Tuvalu, so out of non-FIFA.
Oh, wow.
So from the 2017 Pacific Mini Games, we have these absolutely beautiful shirts. That's the home. We've then got the away, because, you know, what's the logical thing to do when you have a blue home shirt? Is have a blue away shirt.
All right, great work. Well done, somebody in the design department.
Yeah, and the last two is the Goalkeeper, which I can't say I like, but I was never not getting it.
It's kind of hilarious.
And this one actually has the sublimated number on the back. Yeah, it's very strange. They sort of fade to white from the yellow. I have no idea why they did that. White appears like nowhere for them, except on the British flag in their flag.
Maybe they just ran out of ink.
And what Impact did run
So
out
it's
was a
frozen.
little bit of sense, because I accidentally got these.
Oh my
instead,
God.
Which is the pre-match shirts, which are absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that's
Like,
something.
in terms of weird sleeves, like we've got this white and yellow one, we've got the yellow and white one on this side with a bit of the pattern leaking to it.
That
Someone's
is
attacked it with
absolutely
yellow
insane.
paint.
I love it. I want them
Yeah.
to play in a pre-match shirt now.
Great stuff. Well, you've been busy as well. Yeah, well, when I went back to Scotland from Greece, I had an absolutely massive heap of shirts. But I've just picked a few to show. I think I'm only going to show 3 because some of them I did on a video on my Twitter, and some of them I just haven't got around to taking photographs of yet.
Making me feel a bit excessive now.
Not at all. Yeah, well, this is a match-worn or prepared Uruguay shirt from a friendly against Ireland, because there was a seller who was just selling off it was an Irish football official who just had hundreds, I think.
Bonkers collection.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous number of player worn and issued shirts that he'd got from all kinds of different games over the years. And I bought 3 shirts. The Croatia one I've already put up on my blog, but I was really into this Uruguay shirt, and I've kind of got quite a few of the South American nations worn or issued now, and I kind of thought, well, that'd be an easy confederation to sort of complete in terms of getting a player spec shirt from each country. So I'm sort of vaguely working away on that.
It's one for the OCD collection as well, with that placement of the number as well.
How come? What do you mean?
Just a bit lower.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
Put it in the middle of the sun.
See what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. But it's a really nice shirt, actually. I really dig that kind of sun design that's sort of, shining through it. And so that's the back. It was worn by Vicino, whoever he may be. I can't say I know that much about him. But what's weird about this one is if you turn it inside out, then it's got this rubbery stuff inside it to keep it sort of attached to your body, I assume, which just looks like really uncomfortable to me.
It does, yeah. I've got a Ivory Coast shirt, match-worn Ivory Coast. I've got that on as well. Yeah.
I don't know, and that's the back. So it's on the back and it's on the front, and it just looks horrible. I can't really imagine wanting to play football with that, like, especially like when you consider how many players like cut the labels out of their shirt, or they make the player spec ones not have an embroidered badge so you don't get nipple rub. But it's all right to have like rubber all over you. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this was the other one that I got. So another one for Adam, and we saw a couple of these on the main pod. This Iceland design, this one prepared, I think, rather than worn, and we did a bit of research into it, and it looked like it had come from, well, it would have been prepared for a game against Denmark,
yeah,
because it was the only one where this particular Magnussen was 19 as opposed to, I think he's normally 18.
Yeah, varied his number a little bit about.
Yeah, so I
also matches up with the story for mine of Harry First Skullerson was on the bench, and we were told one was match prepared, one was bench worn.
Right. So yeah, and then there's this, which you, Nick, may recognise, and it's Marley Shirt from the one before the current one, and I actually think it's better than the current one. I mean, I really like the current one, but this one's just an absolute banger.
This got to the final of National Shirt of the Year
last year. Yeah, that's right.
I want to say it's 2017 we first saw that.
I'd rather wanted the white version. Actually, this is one of the really rare occasions when I would rather have had the white one over the yellow one, but just because on white the design stands out a bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's still.
I'll take it off your hands then, Joe.
well, I don't know about that. Yeah, so I'm really glad to have landed that, and yeah, that's just a close up. I just think it's better. The eagle is less cartoonish somehow. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
what's
agree.
different about it on this year's one, but somehow it just seems more like a sort of Disney cartoon this year, and it kind of looked a bit cooler back then.
It's been a long time since Marley have had anything bad. From
Yeah, true.
shirt-wise.
True enough. ANS they just always do Marley great shirts, and they've been doing Marley shirts since, I don't know. I mean, when was the last time ANS didn't do the Marley shirt? You probably
They've had it
probably
about
look.
15 years. now.
Yeah, that's it. You must be looking 2004 or something like that, probably.
Kappa.
Yeah.
It could do with some, I don't know, it's missing some, like, maybe just scatter it with some jewels or something.
yeah, that's it. It isn't encrusted with incredibly rare gemstones, like the new one was, which is just the most ridiculous thing. I mean, I don't whose idea was that? As if these Marley shirts are not bling enough already, you know? Yeah. Anyway, those
for
are
those people whose giant eagles are just a bit too boring.
yeah, exactly. That's it. We need to liven them up somehow. Yeah. Anyway, so that's some new additions from me, and yeah, be sure to check out the last episode of the full-length pod, and you'll see plenty more fun football shirts in there. So, cheers very much. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.